the whole topic, the whole subject of the Holocaust is a painful one. Reviewing the events that took place, reviewing the reaction of Jews, both inside and outside those terrible lands, leaves one with questions. And the first question is, can we answer why? And to that my answer is no. You can never answer why. Why do people suffer is never something that you can answer. You can only approximate. You can only say that things happen for a higher purpose, for a better purpose, to elevate the person, to purify the person, to purify the people. But you can never answer why something happens when there's so much pain. The collective pain of 6 million souls is unspeakable. The things that they had to go through every day just to survive. This was deliberately done by the Nazis, the Germans. There is no excuse, and there is no compelling reason that I can give why they had to suffer. Of course, the Christians and church would want you to believe that this is because the Jews rejected Jesus, and this is the result of that. And they won't say it openly, but this is what they're thinking. We Jews, of course, reject that. However, everything is by divine providence and everything is by God. The same God who chose the Jewish people at Sinai also set them up for the slaughter of the Holocaust. That doesn't make the Holocaust good. It makes the Holocaust part of the divine plan. So what can we derive? What can we take from Yad Vashem? What can we derive from the Holocaust? And my answer is twofold. Number one, there is a response. There is a divine response for the Holocaust. The Holocaust was caused by evil people. God, for some reason known only to God, gives evil men the ability to choose right from wrong and gives them great power. And they have the ability to choose for the benefit of their society or for its detriment. And those people who choose evil are given the ability to do evil for a specific amount of time. Hitler chose to do evil. There's no reason why Hitler couldn't have been more magnanimous, why he couldn't have been more gracious, why he couldn't have allowed the Jews to emigrate to Africa instead of making it a final solution. There's no reason why he had to have the Einsatzgruppen so murderous. There's no reason why he had to be so brutal with his own people, except that he was an evil man. And God gave him the ability to choose evil. But even while God gives the anti-Semite the ability to choose evil, ultimately there's a response that God gives. The response that has been given in this generation is that today there exist 6 million Jewish souls in the Holy Land. And these 6 million Jewish souls are multivariate, from different cultures, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and different races even. There are black Jews and white Jews, yellow Jews, all Jewish. There are converts with all different stripes. But there are 6 million of them in the state of Israel. For the vast majority, they are halachically Jewish, something that does not exist in the diaspora. In the diaspora, there are many hundreds of thousands of Jews who today are not halachically Jewish because their mothers weren't Jewish and they were converted by people who are not licensed to give conversions. The license comes from God alone. Only those who have smicha and follow the rules of God in the Torah can do conversions. That's a separate issue. There are 6 million Jewish souls, halachic Jewish souls, in Israel today. Those 6 million are strong. Those 6 million can respond to any attack. Those 6 million are prospering. They're the object of scorn and hatred, jealousy, frustration, anger, and all the negative emotions that the Arab and the neo-Nazi world can throw at them. But they're still there. They're there and are determined to stay there. Not only are they determined to stay there and survive, they are succeeding where other nations are failing. Israel has a robust economy. Despite the Arab boycott, despite all of the machinations of the various nations against Israeli products, Israel's economy is booming. Israel's construction industry is booming. Employment is basically total employment. Now, this is at a time when Europe is in chaos. All the Asian nations are experiencing downturns. America is at a very, very bad doldrum, semi-depression. Yet Israel is succeeding. And this was promised to us by none other than Bilam. Bilam the wicked said, in the future, they are a nation that will be by themselves, and they will not be affected, and will not consider what goes on among the nations. And so there is a response from God as to the result of the Holocaust. What is God's response? God's response is, you think you killed the Jews and destroyed their spirit and stamped them out and caused them irreparable harm. You killed most of the Jews of Europe, destroyed most of their institutions, stole 90% of its wealth, created havoc in all of its great congregations. But here, 70 years later, 67 years after the Holocaust, a new Jewish nation is built on the ashes of Auschwitz in the Holy Land, unafraid of you and unaffected by what goes on outside of itself. Today, Israel has natural gas resources, shale oil resources. It is the highest level of high-tech per capita in the world. That's God's response. My response, says God, is you killed 6 million. Here are 6 million others who are not taking their place, take their place in the world, in the center stage of the world, and succeed.